I am not buying any more of Alibaba, JD.com, or any other Chinese stock for that matter. Chinese markets are in a huge mess. In the long term, I'm still bullish on China, but in the short term, they are in a huge mess with the whole Evergrande situation and the real estate bubble, the $52 trillion real estate bubble. The real estate prices in China have been going up for the past 20 years. Ghost cities, debt-ridden real estate developers like Evergrande, normal everyday people with multiple vacant properties, these are common things in China. And all of these point to one single cause, which is a bubble. There is a bubble in the real estate market in China. It is not a matter of will the bubble burst, it is a matter of when will the bubble burst. In one of the most expensive cities in United States, which is New York, the price of a house is 9.3 times the annual income of an average person. 9.3 times the annual income of average person, while in Shenzhen it is 46.6 times the average income of an average person. 46.6 times is the price of a normal house in Shenzhen. That is how expensive things are in real estate in China. In the long term, China as a country, they will get over it. They will get more turbulences like this. They will get more short term troubles like this. But in the long term, they'll get over it. They have a huge consumer population, very hardworking people with a strong middle class. But in the short term, they are in bad waters. The real estate bubble is one reason. And the other reason, which is a huge reason, by the way, what will the government do when situations like this happen? Are they going to help the corporations or the 4 million people? The corporations, they provide jobs to the people. If they're going to help the corporation, then they're going back on their own principles of communism and Marxism. But if they don't help the corporation, how will they help the 4 million people that this corporation employs, which is Evergrande? Or the homeowners, the first time home buyers that were buying their homes that Evergrande owes money to? That will be the interesting thing to see. How will the government do that? Now, everything depends on the government's next move. Will they be helping the corporation, help the 4 million people that it directly or indirectly employs, and the people who had given money to Evergrande to buy their first home? Or will they be directly helping the people? Will they be directly providing the stimulus to those people? That will be the interesting thing to see now. The government over there is in a tight divide right now. We know one thing for certain, that their motto and their vision is to strengthen the middle class. They don't care about the CEOs, they don't care about the corporation, they don't care about the big investors at all, or the foreign investors or the foreign banks. They care about their own middle class. That is the first thing that they would save if they had to do any action. This is the situation. There is a real estate bubble in China. There are ghost cities are normal, real estate developers which are in huge debt, okay, their prices are sky high. So there is a real estate bubble. The prices have been going up for the past 20 years. It is not a matter of will the bubble burst, it is a matter of when will the bubble burst. We know that there is a bubble in China. What do we as long-term investors as in the West do in situations like this? Where should we invest? Should we buy more? Should we not buy more? Should we liquidate? Should we hold our positions? What do we do to protect our money and ourselves, Western retail investors? I personally am not buying any other positions in China, whether in Alibaba, whether in JD.com, or any other company whatsoever. I am not building any new positions in China. I am not liquidating anything. I am not selling anything. I am holding what I have, but I am not buying any new positions. The reason I'm not selling is because I am bullish on China long term. I am bullish on Alibaba long term. In the long term, things will play themselves out and they will figure some ways out to come through, work through this mess that they have put themselves in with the real estate market and the things going on over there. But in the short term, I am bearish. In the long term, I'm very bullish on China and Alibaba. So that is why I'm not liquidating any of my positions, but I am not adding anything new. The reason I'm not buying anymore is because my eyes are on the government's decision. The way they respond to this situation is going to determine if they are ready for and okay with investors, traders, and private corporations and businesses. If they do not bail this company out, it'll be a very bad message for people in the West and the people, investors in their own country, which can lead to huge outflows of money. And where will that money flow to? The Western markets. It'll help the markets in the West, but China's economy will face a very severe and long term downturn. Very long term downturn because of such huge amounts of outflows of money. So that is one of the main reasons. If I buy in any Chinese equity now, I have to factor in that long term downturn because I don't think the government will do anything that will be helpful or beneficial for the corporations or the Western investors. They don't care about those people. So anything that they do will hurt the people in the West, the investors in the West, and the people over there who are big time investors. And they will take their money out and they will go somewhere else. And when they go somewhere else, that will put the markets in a bearish mode over there. And how long will that go on? 2 years, 3 years? That is the question. So I don't have that much patience. I don't have that much capital to put there and wait for that long, while I can use that capital in the West and gain more returns in the meantime. So there is that opportunity cost. And that is the main reason I'm not building up any more positions in Chinese equities. Whatever I have, I'm keeping it because I am bullish on these positions long term. But in the short term, I'm not adding any more because anything they do, the money will outflow from there. The money will outflow from China to the Western markets, which will prop up the Western markets. But China, it will face a long bear market. And I have to factor that in whenever I'm buying any equity over there. There is a very high possibility, there is a very high probability that those long-term bear markets will continue and will happen over the next 2 3 years. There is a small possibility that everything might play out in the favor of the Western investor. Everything might play out in the favor of the big time investors or the big time corporations, but it might not play out that way. And if it plays out that way, I still have a small positions that can 3x, 4x, 5x based on the intrinsic value. My calculations are right. And I think I bought a great business at a great deal. But in the long term, because of the government policies and all that, the stock price can get beaten down. And if the government favors, if the government like acts smartly towards the business and the free markets, then we are in a win-win situation. So there is probability both ways, and I want to make money both ways. If that happens, I'll still be making money. If the other thing happens, I will still be making money. In the West, we will not feel any sort of long-term damage or any sort of bear market aggregation if Evergrande falls, or if any other small Chinese developers like real estate developers fall with Evergrande. We will not face a huge impact. But in the Chinese market, this will have a domino effect. It will lead to a fall of almost every sector in every part of the economy. This will be a huge thing. This will be like a 2008 Lehman crisis, right, that we had over here. Over the course of a week, next week, or a next month, I am keeping an eye on what's going on over there, what's going on in China, how things will play out, will the government react, how will they force their hand to face this situation and to come up with solutions for this problem. That is what I'm going to be doing over the course of next month. In the Western markets, we will be fine. I don't think this will have any long-term impact on us. In the short term, we might face some turbulence, but over there, in those markets, it will have a huge impact if this company falls. So I'll be keeping an eye out on those things, and based on that, I will make my investment decisions in the future in the Asian markets. That is my 2 cents. Please let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. Are you buying Alibaba? Are you selling Alibaba? Are you buying or selling any other Chinese company right now? Is this what do you guys think? Is this a good time or a bad time? This was my 2 cents. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. This is the Frugal Investor signing out.